Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those who are not familiar with the channel or watching this for the first time, the reason why we call it Uncommon Sense, it is because on this channel we seek solutions to everyday problems. Unfortunately, not everyone uses logic. Now, tonight we have an interview, and that is with no one but no less than the one, the only Denisse Gonzalez. Now I'm going to give her a. Okay, let me drop the link. All right. Ooh, okay. Okay. I see you. The link is there. Now, as I was saying, this is good an opportunity. And before I let my special guest in, I'm going to read the disclaimer. The views of the guests who appear on the channel are not necessarily the views of the host of this channel. Any attempt to copy the material without the consent of the host or the channel, Uncommon Sense with Jose is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to the image on the channel. Some of the views which the guests hold may be considered offensive to some viewers. If you don't like the content, you can block the channel. And then now, good evening, daughter.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Okay, I hope you forgive me. I had to leave the last couple minutes of your stream to get ready for your visit.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
And in
How are
fact,
you doing today?
I'm doing fine. In fact, I got a little something prepared. Just give me a moment. So what you think?
Love it. Very beautiful. Thanks for taking on Common Sense with Jose Negron.
Not
New year, new you.
not bad for a person that should be exiled to an island drinking water.
Oh my God, stop. You're never gonna let it go.
I'll let it go in time.
Were you sipping a pina colada while doing that one?
I was not. I was not. I was completely sober. But first of all, I just want to let all the people Uncommon Folk, I'm going to ask them, please subscribe to Latin Splaining. My daughter here does produce excellent content, and she was the inspiration for me to have my own channel.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Absolutely. Every day we bring news of current events that are happening in real time with my perspective, of course. So if you're tired of the media, you're tired of the lies, if you just want to hear it how it is, make sure you tune in to Latin Splaining.
Yes. And as you can see, I'm all properly attired for your visit.
Thank you very much. I am not. I'm in my rolos and my bata and everything.
So you couldn't even came up for my. Okay, well, you know what? But that I should have just put on my pajamas and just came off.
Oh my
god! No, but before we get to the questions, I think we should talk a little bit about Farouk. Now I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm divided on that issue, and the reason why. First of all, as you know, I'm a born again Christian. So whenever I hear someone that, and I'm going to use quotation marks, that comes to the saving knowledge of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, it does do my heart good. However, with this case, it gives me a lot of issues because, first of all, I think the ethical thing for him to do, the Christian thing for him to do, was to return all the proceeds.
Absolutely, but he's not going to do that.
I know. And that's the reason why I have such a huge issue with this individual. And, sometimes people get a spiritual awakening, and I put it in quotation marks, but it's for another purpose.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I said, this is just an underlying situation, and I hate the fact that, look, I don't believe in Christianity at all, but like I have respect for that ideology. If you're going to be a Christian, hey Rakim, what's up? If you're going to be a Christian, then you have to be a Christian. You can't have as Christianity. That's disrespectful to the whole principle. And the fact that it's being used by people to profit off of it and to make it into something that is not is extremely disrespectful. I'm surprised that the Christian community in Puerto Rico is not outraged by this, and they're cheering it on.
Okay, you know what? That's why, and that's another reason why I'm concerned about it as well, because I think, and forgive me for using Christian terminology, but like it goes, you know that your cyber father is born again, so but it gives me a lot of concern. And the fact of the matter is, if you're going to walk the walk, then make sure you walk the walk fully, not half step it.
Yeah, like if you analyze even in the Bible, when you had I don't know if you guys call it Paul Pablo. How is it called in English? Paul?
Paul, yeah,
Okay, when you have Paul, he used to be against Christians in the past, but when he got his enlightenment, he didn't say, "Oh, you know what? Let me just finish what I was doing and kill the rest of the Christians that I was supposed to that I have on my list, and then I go into Christianity." Like that's not the way it was,
no, it's not. It's
you
not.
know.
And you know what? The problem is there's people that already have like a crazy image regarding Christians as to begin with. We seem to be very hateful. We seem to be very judgmental. And whenever you have a situation like that, it causes a lot of concern. But I'm going to pray for him, nevertheless, because that's the Christian thing to do.
Definitely.
No, let's get to let's get to the questions. Now, what I did was I emailed you the questions, so therefore there'll be no surprises.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Hey, hey, Christina, how you doing? It's always a pleasure to see you in the chat. Okay, now I'm going to start with the first question. How was your childhood in Puerto Rico?
Well, I mean, it was very, how can I say it? Very mellow, very sweet. It was something, more than anything, it was very happy. I had a very happy childhood. Of course, like any other person, it has its ups and downs, but for the most part, growing in the island gave me a lot of perspective on the value of a simpler life, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. Not to necessarily value assets and material things and whatnot. It gave me like a little bit of perspective on what really matters.
I I agree. Let's go to, excuse me. Let's go to the next question. What was your biggest challenge adjusting to life in Los Angeles?
Biggest challenge? Oh wow, there's several. I mean, first of all, the one of the most important to me was adapting to the noises of the city life. If you have ever, like, if you're from Latin America as well, you know that when we come to these big cities, they never stop. The noise never stops. One of the biggest challenges that I have found, and it's something that I cherish a lot, is the value of silence,
Mhm.
and that unfortunately doesn't exist in the United States. So everything is always so noisy, and it was very hard for me to rest I would say the first year, because
Interesting.
you're used to just waking up to birds and going to sleep to cookies and crickets and whatnot, and just to hear even the rain. You'll be able to hear it even before it starts. and you can't do those things here. Like there's nowhere where your eyes can rest in America, like unless you're in like a very rural area. Other than that, like there's no real silence.
It's kind of like the experience I had living in the housing development in Manhattan and then moving to Puckchester,
Oh my god.
spending my first night, and it's like, oh, so this is what silence is. There's no sirens and there's no people yelling, screaming, and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah, it's so crazy when you live in a city. Oh my, it's challenging. It's very challenging.
Okay. Um, what was the process that led you to create your channel?
Well, I mean, almost 3 years ago, me and MK started following Radical Latino and Christina, and we started watching their shows. I got more involved into Radical Latino's channel, and I mean, I come from a background of radio. So, radio has been a part of my life since I was 20 years old.
Okay.
And I mean, I've always been very knowledgeable about, history and politics. I didn't knew a lot about economics, but during the pandemic, I felt like not wasting time, start reading more and looking at trends and things. And I'm like, you know what? I started realizing that the more I dive into like corporations and how they function in America, and even the politics of America, which is something that I try to keep away and just focus on Latin America, the more I focus into the American way of doing things, I realized that we were either underrepresented or non existent. And if we existed only in the category, instead of just being the leaders in a sector. If you look at any other ethnicity in America, they might be lacking in certain areas, but they are leading in something. They're the leading market or the leading owners of a sector, and the only ones that are not are Latinos. So, and then when you look at our representation in corporate America, it's under 4%. When you look at our representation in media, it's under 10%. When you look at our representation in Wall Street, it's under 2%. When you look at our representation in tech, it's under 3%. And that translates even into politics. We don't even comprise 10% of politicians or people in power. So I said, you know what? I think a lot of the things that are keeping us away from the conversation or keeping us away from having, the opportunity to be in these spaces is because we don't know these things. Just I didn't knew them. And they were so intimidating and overwhelming. And most of us are always so busy that somebody needs to tell us that these are the things that are happening and this is what we should do. This is where we should go uh, towards achieving a higher space somewhere else. Like for example, in my field in media, we are underrepresented. We used to be, before the pandemic, we used to have only 5% of media was Latino, but then we went up to 7%. And even though Latinos in the United States are the group that goes the more to the theater, out
Mhm.
of every group, more than white, black, Asian, and Middle Eastern, Latinos go to the theater the most and consume the most media in the nation. But then we are the least represented. So it's something that the conversation needs to happen because we don't know how things function in America. We have been living here, but we don't pay attention to things that matter. And we get intimidated by the terminologies, or sometimes discouraged by family members, or push into fitting into the stereotype that we have seen for so long, that we shy away from doing these changes that I think we definitely can do, because we have what it takes. We have the work ethics, we have the charisma, we have the culture, we have the music. I mean, come on, we're seeing it with Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny and Daddy Yankee are two phenomenons in the Latin spectrum that came out of nowhere, and the whole world sees them. Right now, Bad Bunny is the most listened artist in Spotify worldwide. It's not just America. He's the most listened to in Japan, in China, in Italy, in the UK, in Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Mexico, Colombia, Costa Rica, Puerto Rico, the DR, Cuba, and the United States. So there's so many things we can do if we actually get the tools and the knowledge, and if we start having the conversation. I think it will be easier for other people and the upcoming Latino generation to understand, hey, I understand now what's going on in this nation and how it works and how things are, and I can get them done.
Well, what I did was I took the liberty of putting in the chat the link to your video regarding Haiti and the fight for trying to get a living wage. I know I didn't. Okay, I know I didn't have. I just have this follow up question, and if you don't mind me asking, why are we so upper underrepresented in these fields?
Because a lot of us are intimidated. And for example, I'm going to share a little bit of my experience. When I graduated from high school very young, because I was like more into books and history and reading. So at 16 years old, I was the only person that was 16 years old learning in college. And I started for architecture because my father is an architect. So, of course, I wanted to learn the same things. And I was groomed into being the next generation in architecture. Now, mind you, I love interior design. I love seeing structural and incorporating nature with industrial looks and whatnot. But that was not what spoke to me. And it's so crazy because throughout my whole life, I started singing in church when I was 2 years old. And my first passion was that I wanted to be a clown. And my grandfather started freaking out because he was like, "You're gonna make no money. You're not gonna succeed at that." I'm like, "Why you want to be a clown?" And then I started asking myself, "Why do I want to be a clown?" And I'm like, "I like to make people laugh. I like to entertain people." And my parents, being very into religion and very conservative Christians, of course, uh, pushed me away from it to a degree. But I always had this passion for music. No matter in what state of my life I was, music was the answer. When I am happy, when I am depressed, when I am angry, when I went through loss, and also when I went through gains, music was a part of my life, never left me. So I moved from that into when I was 15, I discovered through a Dominican professor in my high school the real history of my people. It took a Dominican professor to teach us about us. And became fascinated with Pedro Albizu Campos. And I was like, I want to change things, but I need a law degree to do so. So I went into criminal justice and abandoned architecture altogether after just 1 year.
Mhm.
And I went full in, and the more I started learning about sociology and criminology and white collar crime and how things happen in the island and how illegal things happen and how the system worked, the Department of Corrections, what it stood for, and the more I became disgusted with it. But I continued until I was almost done, but I was so drained. So at that point, I was 19, was no, I was 20 years old. And I said, you know what? Like I can't do this anymore. You know,
Mhm.
I'm about to graduate from a degree I hate. Uh and I'm gonna do something that I hate. I don't believe in the system. I don't think this is the way. I don't think this is something that will make me fulfilled. It's something that's gonna demand so much from me, but it's never going to give me the same things in return. So I said, I want something to be more mellow where I can create and put something meaningful and give people the same things that music has done for me, and not just music, but sound. And that's when I discovered radio. But when
Mhm.
I told my parents about it, they freaked out. They freaked out and they didn't supported my shift. Like, how are you gonna abandon such a prestigious career to become a fucking musician? So it kind of felt like having the same conversation as I had when I was 6 years old, to explain why I wanted to be a clown. And to be honest, nobody supported my music career in my household until I graduated at 23 years old.
Mhm.
So I took a hiatus for a minute. I think it was for a
Mhm.
year and a half. And I said, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take some time, and if this is really for me, then I'm gonna finish it because I don't want to continue to do unfinished things. And the more I listened to music, and the more I started just having all these ideas and working, and Radio Sol at the time, and I was, interacting with producers, with musicians, with people that would come to the station and do stuff. And I was able to control all these things because they promoted me to actually be a master control board operator, and I was in charge of everything. I was like, I love this. This is when I feel alive. I'm the person behind this station that gets to decide what gets broadcasted to the whole island. So I was so excited. And I said, this is what fills me with joy. This is what I'm going to pursue. And of course, being a musician or a singer had to go in the background at that point, because that's never going to bring you uh, profit, like unless you're like super good or know marketing to like the deepest extents, you're not going to be able to make a living out of just being a musician. So I understood that, and I said, I want to be the man behind the control. I want to be the person that gets to control what gets produced and what gets made and created.
Mhm.
So I went into a field that was mostly men, which was very intimidating for me. And I decided to become a sound engineer.
Mhm.
And I finished and graduated at 23 years old in 2011, and never looked back. Never looked back. And that transition into broadcasting, I still have that passion. It's always going to stay with me. And if I translate it into something that I can incorporate all of my knowledge of the law, history, music, entertainment, and broadcasting, then why not make a YouTube channel?
Okay.
You know?
Well, you know me. I have been one of your biggest supporters since well, for the last 8 months. So and I have watched either watch or participated in every one of your streams and videos at least once.
I know, and I thank you for that. I hope you have enjoyed them.
And I did, and I think we have someone else. So we're going to give. Oops. Okay. Ooh, okay. Good evening, Radical.
Good evening.
Yeah.
Why you giving this Bende Patria so much shine? She owes me $200. You know that? You know
No,
that?
it's 250, but I
Oh
don't
damn
care.
it. Oh yeah, 250, 250, yeah,
I don't
250.
care.
Radical, behave yourself. We are in my house.
Ooh, ooh, ooh,
Look, he's laughing.
don't let me get
Funny.
away with it. Don't let me get away with it.
No, but I'm glad that you're here, Radical. Which brings brings me to my next question. What's been your most pleasant surprise with with your channel, Denise?
But you know what? The fact that when I started the channel, I thought nobody, like, that's something that, look, I have the blessing of having someone that I get to call my significant other as a supporter of everything
Boo.
I do. Everything that I do. And when I was going through like my injury and whatnot, he kept pushing me from the beginning. You should have a podcast or do something. Like, there's so many things that you know. You're so bright, so intelligent, so well versed. You should have a channel. And he did it for years. And I was like, no, no. I always push back. And it was a point. It came to a point where he's like, look. I came home one day and he's like, I started you on StreamYard. I bought this professional mic for you. I have the interface, the computer, everything is set up. You just have to sit down and just talk. Right. And I was like, nobody's gonna want to listen to me. Like, I mean, come on. Like, no, I don't think nobody wants to listen
You
to
are right. Nobody wants to. No, that's
Well,
So one of the biggest, because I went into this thinking I was gonna have 8 people subscribe to my channel. And but I said, you know what, it might be fun. I mean, if it's 8 people, we'll rock the 8 subscribers. And the fact that even before I started my first video, I already had close to 90 subs. It was a pleasant surprise, and we're still growing. And I get people like from different spaces. Like, just today I got someone from Ireland tuning in. I've had people from Saudi Arabia tuning in. And it's growing very slowly. But I mean, even if we're at 254 today, I mean 255, I think at 254, something like that, like, it's still very pleasant to be able to, even though I'm here alone, it's something so fascinating. I'm here alone, but I'm talking to 255 people. So that's one of the biggest surprises, and it's been growing steadily. So I guess 255 people disagree with me, and they love to hear what I have to say.
well, the fact of the matter is, you do bring out a lot of content that no one talks about. And the fact of the matter is that because you do, unfortunately, have people who do not understand and appreciate your knowledge. That's the reality. Now, I just want to
It's
let
all Radical's fault. It's Radical's fault.
that's why I got her the 90 subscriber.
why you
I I got her. That's right. It's me, number 17. You heard? Radical.
why are you interrupting your cyber father?
Oh wow! Look, Radical. Jose's on you.
No, I'm talking
Ah!
about because
I'm not going to sleep. I'm not going to sleep, Jose. I'm not going to sleep.
Ah,
but the fact of the matter is, I do enjoy your content, and the fact of the matter is, you have graciously allowed me into your platform. Um, what I would like to know is, what has been your biggest obstacle with your channel?
I think two things. One, especially this year, it's staying consistent. That's one of the biggest challenges because my life changes at any given moment.
Mm-hmm.
But more than anything is that I think, between Twitter and YouTube, I think YouTube, it's such a, I mean, you come in as a content creator and you have so much to give, and you just want to put out content for whoever wants to listen, of course. But then you get all the people that don't want to listen to you, but they can't seem to stay away. And you get so much hate. And sometimes I think, I mean, people don't think about the person behind the mic or the person behind the camera. I'm like, you're 300 people putting disgusting comments about one person at the same time. And it's something that we don't talk about enough because people will like say, oh, like, then you should not be on YouTube. And like I said, I honestly don't care because I know where it comes from. However, it's like, it's something that we should start thinking about it. You know, all these people, like, even though social media is a place for us to connect, it also connects us with the worst parts of society as well. And I think that I was not prepped for that because my nature is to lash out at people, curse them out, and just tell them to suck my D. But
But yet you have not shared your venom with me yet. So
Oh no, no, no. But in all honesty, it's. I think one of the biggest obstacles for me has been to um, stay in the same. I would say the same. Stay in the same square as when I started,
hmm
which is why I take sometimes some breaks because it's unbearable. I mean, nobody can take like 300 people coming at you at the same time with just disgusting things, like And I'm not saying like the normal lame insults, where you're talking about people that wish you to get sexually assaulted, and disgusting things of that nature, or threatening your life, or something like that. Like when you have such a large amount of people that are coming to you because they don't like your content, and that's their reaction, it becomes you start getting in your way to a degree, because then you start censoring yourself, which is why I love the Latin explainers, and I love everybody that I'm able to reach with my content in my little corner of YouTube, but I don't read the comments anymore.
I hear you. I just want to let everybody know that if you wish to put a question in the chat, by all means do so. But be mindful. Please be respectful, because if you're not going to be respectful, you're going to be blocked. It is that simple as that.
I read all the comments, and the negative comments I print them out and eat them.
Ah, radical, you're a savage.
Wow.
I have this little cup called Comment Troll Tears, and I drink them every day.
Really? You're stupid.
Oh my
Stupid.
goodness.
Yeah, I got a question.
Go ahead.
Denisse,
Yeah, go ahead.
are you gonna pay me my $250?
No, I'm keeping them. I already told you.
Oh, you see what I'm talking about? You see,
Uh,
classless. You
um,
see,
Radical. Just treat it as a gift and just move on.
oh yeah, that's what you teach your kids, how to steal. Is that what it is?
I
That's how you
don't
teach
call
your
it
kids.
stealing.
That's crazy.
No, I don't call it stealing.
Oh, of course you don't. Of course you don't. You know the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. I see, huh? Huh?
Well, let's
I see
continue.
that you got a new haircut. Did you steal that too? Did you just get it and just leave?
No, actually, you know what I did?
What?
I got a haircut and I got all this done for my cyber daughter.
Oh,
Oh, look at
okay.
that. You see, some people appreciate me, right?
We'll pay for it though.
I did.
No, you didn't. You probably stole it. You probably was like, "Oh, wait, I gotta take a phone call. I gotta go. I'll be right back," and then never came
No,
back.
no, no.
That's just because you're a dustpan, that doesn't mean that everybody is, okay? You're the
Uh,
radical dusty. So chill
well,
out.
yeah, the world revolves around me, though.
Well,
That's
let's
what he
well,
said.
okay. Let's go to the next question. I'm going to change it up slightly. If you can do it all over again, what would you do different regarding your channel?
If I could do all over again, I think I would do exactly what I told you. I will go in and never read the comments at all.
hmm
That's definitely, like, hands down. That's one thing. I will never read the comments at all.
I
Um,
can I say my thing? If
Yeah.
I
yes.
get to do it all over again, I'll change my Bitmoji and actually make it look completely different, like a white guy.
Oh my
I
god.
will literally change my Bitmoji as a white guy and have like the craziest, like the radical Chad, you
Oh
know,
my god.
and
Stop.
and and I will just go on until I do my face reveal and be like, wait a minute, he's not white. I'm like, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Oh my god.
Wow.
No, but definitely it's that. It's just never read the comments at all.
May I make a suggestion?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let your moderators do that.
Ah, yeah, definitely. I'm
Okay.
not. It's like I said, I love my Latin explainers. I love all the people that watch me, and I love all the love that I have also received, but I just don't want to read them anymore.
I know that's why you have moderators. People who will monitor the chat and make sure that nothing disgusting gets by.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. If you want to put disgusting comments, go ahead. You embarrass yourself for the public. I mean, I don't care. It's like Twitter. Like when I post certain things on Twitter, like I don't read the responses anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I just put whatever I want to put in there and keep it moving.
Now, the next question, I'm going to kind of put you on the spot a little bit.
Oh, Lord.
Are there other YouTube creators that you enjoy to watch?
Absolutely. There's plenty. There's plenty. There's plenty. I mean, I from Radical Latino, I go to your channel. I'm hoping for Rakim to start his channel. I'm looking forward to Ramon's platform. You know, I enjoy this content. I also enjoy Kevin Samuels. I enjoy Abba Preach. I enjoy Pink Book Lessons. There's many channels that I actually enjoy. But surprisingly enough, one of the contents that I consume the most on YouTube is not even from our space is Arvin Olano,
Okay.
um, DIY with KB, and Rachel Metz. And these are people that make DIYs and home renovations and interior design and stuff like that, because that's something I actually enjoy. So those are others that I enjoy and consume more than our own content. And to also keep up with different perspectives of like Latin America, especially like Caribbean Latinos. I watch Molusco TV a lot.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I appreciate the fact that you inspired me to have my own channel, and in fact, I more or less copied your template. Of course, I had my own personal touches and whatnot.
Yeah, but at least you're not a Decepticon, you know, that attack me and then do the same shit I'm doing.
No, no, no. I try. I try to be different, and you saw a little bit of my new additions that I added on. So,
Yeah.
okay. I, I want to rather go Ryan. I guess he's trying to find someone else to get his
They
$250.
got him. Yeah, yeah, they got him. He just came here to claim his money and went away.
Well, let's go on to the next question. What is your most humorous moment on your channel?
Oh my god, there's plenty. I think of the most recent times is Cringe, my first Latin explaining record. Like the that first single, it was hilarious. I think that's one of the most hilarious recent moments I've had. Sometimes I go and listen to it again because it's hilarious. You
Yeah.
know, if Cringe, everybody that listens to Cringe loves it.
All except one. Well,
Oh
we're not
yeah,
gonna
no,
mention.
two, all except two people.
You mean there's two people alone? You know
If
what?
there's two people that hate it,
Okay. Okay.
but I
I'm not gonna
mean,
mention their names here.
oh no, 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 it's all good because then they'll do like 7 videos about us.
Yeah. Yeah, I could just see it now. Oh, look on Jose channel. He talking smack about us. Blah 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 blah.
And he thinks he's better than anybody. He's Bonifacio and he's an angel and blah 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 blah. You know how it goes in this little toxic corner of YouTube.
Believe me, I know. Particularly what another YouTube creator, which I'm not going to mention, trying to stop me from getting on a platform because you know could not accept a direct confrontation. And the crazy part, I was being polite.
Is that the person that I thought it is? Like the person that tried to report you?
No, that's a different person.
You have collected, you have been a bad person around here. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. You are collecting haters like Thanos with the Infinity Stones.
But you know what? It's all good because the reality is everyone is going to have haters. I'm going to have haters because of my content, because I don't do regular streams. I don't do 9 hour streams, and I'm not putting anybody down that does.
Put them in the dust.
You know me. You know me. You know
Nah, put them in, put blast them,
that is.
blast them.
You know me, daughter. That's not my way.
Let me tell you something. If your stream is past 4 hours and you do that more than twice a month, you're a loser. Jose did not said that, and on common sense is not responsible for what I said, but I am saying it. If you do more than 2 4-hour podcasts or live streams on your show, and you're a freaking loser. Because there's no way in hell that you can do so many hours. Even 4 hours is so draining. Like I've only had that on my platform a few times, and it's when the conversation gets like very convoluted or it's very complicated or something that it has a lot of points to dissect. But I absolutely hate that.
Well, the reason why my stream, I mean, the longest I've gone was 2.5 hours, and that was a lot long for me. First of all, I mean, no one wants to hear a 59-year-old fart pontificate regarding any particular issue. Okay, number one. Number two, people have lives. Okay, people actually work. So what I do is I make it short enough so like people can like they can spend like maybe 30 minutes to an hour with half a stream and then finish it the other stream, or just do it in one sitting. That's the reason why my streams are not that long. But not about me because it's about my daughter here.
No, it's okay. It's all good.
Okay. What are your future plans with Latin explaining?
Well, I mean, right now I'm just doing news. Daily news is my main thing. I'm coming up with more stuff. I'm just trying to go through like the whole legal things and like my mind organizing a little bit more of things. But eventually, I want to transition into a bigger type of production with my channel. I'm not gonna say any details. First, because I don't want to jinx it. Second, because the Decepticons might get triggered. But I mean, there's things that are like in my head that I want to take my channel into, and it's not gonna stay just on YouTube. But something I can actually talk about. It's my Patreon. I'm gonna make exclusive content. It's coming this summer. I'm getting stuff together to do that. Um, and that's basically it. And I'm coming up with my website. So eventually, this summer is gonna be nice, but towards the end of the year, I'm gonna have a website. I'm not gonna say what it's gonna be about. Just be in the lookout for it. But there's things coming. It's gonna take at least one more year for me to get to where I want to go today.
Okay. Is it something that you want to share in the backstage, or you want to keep it?
Oh, come on! Don't be nosy. You'll see it. You'll see it.
Now, I mean, okay. Well, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I still love you anyway. And I think we have someone else. Hey, Rakim.
What's up, Rakim?
What's up to my sis Denisse? What's up to my YouTube dad Jose? How you guys doing this evening?
Oh, we're doing fine.
Good, good. Having a good conversation here.
Yes, I've
Jose
been
be
listening.
nosy. Jose be nosy.
I've been listening. I've definitely been listening.
Me being nosy.
That's a joke.
I thought you loved me, daughter.
Oh my God! Stop.
I mean, I'm wondering you talking about me. I should go to an island and drink mojito now.
Oh my God! Here we go. He's never gonna let that go. I'm telling you now. He's never gonna let that go. He's gonna hold me to that for the rest of the year.
Well, that's one of the advantages of being older.
Here we go. Look.
Is that you think before you speak.
Oh my God. Here we go. You see, Rakim, what I'm telling you? It's like he has that wisdom chancla. The chancla says wisdom, and he's hitting me with it like on the head.
No, I
Well,
definitely
remember,
understand that. I definitely understand
you did say that I can hit with the chocolate if it's necessary.
Oh
the
my
chocolate.
God. You see, he's abusing his power. Palpatine. That's how I'm going to call you from now on. Palpatine.
Be careful, or I might execute Order 66.
Ah! I'm dead. I can't.
But
I don't even want to find that one out.
I might add that little clip on my
Oh my God. Look at
and do the Kevin Samuels thing.
yeah, execute order 66.
Uh,
Oh.
Joaquin, do you have any questions for Denisse?
No, not really. I just wanted to come up here and speak with you guys before you guys wrapped it up. It's been interesting watching, getting a little taste of Denise's background on how she grew up in the island, making that transition to Los Angeles, and just learn getting her education and her training and applying that to her YouTube channel and being able to deliver us a lot of the information that we get today, and teaching us about what's going on in Latin America, from the corruption to the politics, all the way into looking into things in the future as far as the metaverse, NFTs, and just transitioning over into the robotic world that we will be dealing with later on. So it's been very interesting just sitting back and listening.
Well,
Thank you very much. And there's more, but I mean, I don't want to drive Jose crazy because then he'll hit me with the Order 66. So I'm scared.
well, I well, there's going to be a season 3 of Uncommon Sense.
Was that gonna be like an eternal, like the Order 66? Does that mean eternal winter and snowfall and
No, no,
okay.
no. But I'm going to add something. Let me just show you.
Look at Jose promoting the use of cannabis. You see, promoting from all those blunts in there, and he. Oh my God!
So,
Not the
so
Swisher Sweets, not the Swisher Sweets.
Not the backwards. Oh my God!
no, what there's gonna be, there's gonna be like an art a piece called "What the heck is this?" Talking about the crazy, the absurd, the unthinkable. So that's going to be something that's going to be added on to season 3.
Oh my God! Look at that. You see, he's gonna talk about cannabis and how to properly smoke a blunt and all this stuff. Rocky, embrace yourself.
Now I did prepare something for Denise's visit.
Look at that. I get my own intro. I get my own intro.
Well, not bad for someone that's old.
Oh my God, here we go. I didn't say you were ancient and a relic that belong in the museum. I said, just enjoy yourself and have mojitos and piña coladas and dance.
Okay. Well, let's go on to the final question. Uh, what would be your advice to those who wish to create a channel on YouTube?
Well, I would say get very in touch with what's needed, in today's society. And at least before you start, have 100 topics that you want to touch on before you start, because once this train starts, it doesn't stop. And every time you see something, try to add humor to it, and also learn how to take criticism without getting upset. There's a lot of people, I think it's more on the younger side, like when they get criticism, it's like they get upset. Like when people tell them like you have no content, or your content is trash, or your content is boring, or whatever, they get upset.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if you're not open to those things, then you don't belong on YouTube.
That is very true.
You
That
know,
is very true.
Jose, me and you have had talks about like your content, my content, and we make each other suggestions and stuff like that. Like that happens all the time. We don't get sensitive about you know what's said.
Well, look, remember last month when we had the discussion regarding C19? I
Yeah,
mean, we were look, you presented your data and I presented my data, and we were all good.
yeah, yeah. But those are two things that And if you're gonna do just a replica of another, this is something, and that's what I've been making lately. The Decepticons joke. One of the things that it has been in this past, I would say, 3 months that I've seen it's look, if you're going to just hate watch other people's content to then 3 days later make a video about what they did, you don't belong here because you're not a content creator,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, like I want to talk about what that person talk. You don't belong here. Stop making replicas. I would love for for people to see different things that we can talk about and show us your personality in different ways. That's what's called creative. You create something. Find topics to talk about. Now all of a sudden we have all these people doing replicas of not only what I'm doing. You even see it with Radical Latino when he came out. A lot of people started trashing him, insulting him, and saying all everything, calling him everything but a child of God. But then now you see them doing what he's doing,
Yeah.
and it happens to all of us. Like mostly the people that get the most attacked, and that's something for future content creators. If you get a lot of attacks, don't even hesitate on continuing, which is a mistake I made. There were times when I was like, I should just stop doing YouTube. But then I realized I'm getting attacked because people actually hate the fact that I'm the one doing the content, not them.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't the other way around, if I was like a boring, lame YouTuber that has 3 subscribers, nobody will be coming for me.
Is that
Agree.
meant to, is
Agree.
that
You
meant
know,
to, is that meant to be a pot shot at me?
do you have 3 subscribers?
Actually, I have 50.
Okay, thank you. So, so it's like I said, I'm like, it's something that I'm seeing it now, and it's something that I regret in the past when I even hesitated because I'm like, now I understand why these people made so many videos talking crap about me. At the end of the day, I mean, you're still watching me. Most of the people that have come at me and I have blogs still watch my content.
Yeah.
And make no mistake, I know all about it.
Yeah. Well, to be perfectly honest, the only time that I ever did a reaction video, it was my review regarding open wounds.
Oh yeah, but that was dope. That documentary is really good.
Yes, and but and the only and a reason why that I air it on my channel because I wanted to get as maximum exposure as possible.
Me too. I announced it on mine because of the same thing. It's such a great understanding in detail of things that we don't know. It's like our hidden gems of history that America has tried to keep away from us, and Spain too.
Yes,
And it's very nice to just sit back and hear it in detail.
Yes,
I agree.
absolutely. What we're dealing with a lot of the times is people. You have a lot of people and a lot of you know, they kind of just want to erase the past. They want to erase history, and because they don't really want to admit how bad a lot of things in history absolutely was, from slavery to the crusades to the colonization of these countries. And a lot of people just want to act like we're all on even playing ground, and that's just not true. And that's what we're dealing with anytime that we reflect on our history, or even talk about how a lot of things from history still affects people to this day. A lot of things want to get swept under the rug and say, no, we're all, that was back then. But a lot of these people that are telling you that or a lot of these people that are trying to erase the past are the same people that benefit from the past atrocities of yesteryear.
Well, the reality is this: we are part of a group of individuals that have quality educational content. I mean, we have myself, we have Denise, we have the introvert Boricua, we have Truth Teacher, we have Radical Latino, we have World Tap Wall. Whenever you or King come up with your channel, that will be part of the collective as well. And the fact of the matter is, we're like an island on a sea of stupidity.
I think that couldn't have been put in a better definition, in a better wording, Jose. I really do. A lot of it's nothing wrong with entertainment. A lot of people like to be entertained, and I'm all for entertainment as well. But the
Yeah.
problem is when it's time to get serious and people decide to turn the other way and still want to be entertained. Then you put yourself in a position where you are ignorant to what's going on and you can't react to it in time enough, because of, the fact that you didn't want to deal with, the issues that's going on, in society and everything. Like, it's a lot of things that affect us that we honestly don't really take the time to, acquire the knowledge of, like what's going on with mortgages and housing right now affects us. What's going on with the economy, COVID-19 still affecting us to this day. The inflation prices, high gas prices, like different things like that is really taking a toll on the American public. And a lot of people just, I guess, dealing with life is so overwhelming for some people that it can easily break you down. So,
Okay. Well, if no one else has if no one wants to put any question on the chat, what I'm going to show you is a couple things that I did on my own. Just bear with me.
Be strong.
That's one of my out goals. Now, this is when I do the main story. So, guys, what you think?
I love it. I love it. What's
yeah,
up,
that's
Ramon?
good.
Yes, how
pretty
you
good.
doing?
Jose. Shout out to my boy Introvert Boricua. Ramon in the building.
Okay. Now this
Ramon
is
in the house.
yes. Now this is my intro in English. Now this is the same intro in Spanish. That I learned within the last week.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good, Jose.
Yeah.
Good. You're moving forward. Yeah, I think look, right now, I think Radical started something that pushed a lot of us to level up,
Mm-hmm.
and only the ones that have the capabilities will do it. The rest, I think, will stay behind. It's kind of like what happened with the Manosphere.
Mm-hmm.
The Manosphere started, 2011, 2012, I believe, and it was like Angry Man, Tommy Sotomayor, and all these people, and graphic tees, cursing out women and yelling. And now Kevin got into the scene with mediocre tutorials, and preach, and all this stuff. And then it's is it Danny Sperling and Dr. TSM, and you see like a different, like a second generation of manosphere being more refined and more educated and whatnot. Not to discredit people and say that they're not educated, but I mean, we're like different type of creators that came into the Latin scene out here, and some people might get upset, but I mean, level the hell up, create your own thing, and be able to evolve. If not, then stay behind.
Well, while I do appreciate the fact that we have gotten 8 likes, considering there was another stream tonight.
Look at that. Look at that. So, it's something that I don't know. I'm very how can I say? I'm very excited about like the future when it comes to broadcasting and stuff. And I'm gonna try to stay on YouTube as long as I can. At some point, I'll transition to other platforms.
Mhm.
You know.
You have my support.
Thank you very much. And like
And
I
we
said,
know you're going to be very successful, Denisse, because you got the gift of gab, girl.
Yes.
well, thank you very much, guys. I hope I can, but I'm a little bit negative all the time.
Okay. Well,
Ah.
okay. At the risk of sounding preachy, with God's grace, you will.
Oh Lord, here we go. No, but seriously, I mean, I have another like a bigger vision. I just need to consistently work towards it. It's not just YouTube. I don't want to stay on YouTube for 10 years. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, after next month, I will be taking a break because I want to take a look at what directions I want to take my channel on. It's got it's gotten a little bit more polished. It can get better though, and it will.
Definitely. It's like me. I took all this time during December and I said, okay, people love that I bring the news, that I talk about sports, that I talk about media. And I include the US and I also talk about business, finances, politics, and whatnot. But then I have to look the part. So I polish my intros and polish my stuff, and I'm still bringing in the news to people. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people think it's easy staying. Look, I read every day at least 17 articles, and that is at the very like at the minimum. I read 17 articles from different news sources, and then I go into other spaces to look them up. And I'm talking about I read things from here, then I have to go to read the Mexican newspaper. Then I have to go read the Venezuelan newspaper. Then I go to read the Dominican newspaper, the Puerto Rican newspaper, the Chilean newspaper. So it's hard work. Like if you're not willing to put in at least 7 to 8 hours every day to research what's best, good luck. You have to read a lot to report the news. I never thought it was. I mean, I don't mind, but it's a lot
Yes,
because you
I
have to do it while it's hot.
yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. Um, Now we're going to start to wrap this up. So, Joaquin, any final thoughts?
Oh, yes. My final thoughts would be this is a great interview with one of my favorite people. Um, I thought it was fantastic, and we all love Denisse. We all love the content that Denisse produces, and we are going to continue to support. And it's just good hearing her perspective, and we know the hard work that she puts into, as she just stated. We're just trying to find out. Latin America is a big that's a continent. We a lot of us forget that South America and Latin America in general is pretty much a continent plus the Caribbean islands. So that's a lot of work to study what's going on in various countries and learn about news in those countries to be able to present them to the rest of the world. So we want to applaud Denisse and give her roses right now for the amount of work that she puts into bringing us these different stories. And it goes to show that the corruption, the blatant corruption all over the world, and how a lot of these governments, pretty much help in destabilizing some of these countries in Latin America, that makes, the people helpless, and makes the people have to, try to find other means of, migrating to different countries to support themselves, some in Latin America, some here in North, and or even in the Caribbean, because of what's going on. And I just appreciate her once more, and I'm going to say that I appreciate what she brings to the table, and that's all I got to say.
Okay, well,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
so what I'm going to do, Rakim, I'm going to put you in the background. Okay. Now we're going to do something a little different tonight in honor of Denisse. I'm going to say my final words, and then I'm going to remove myself, and then I'm going to give you the stage to say your final words. First of all, I just want to thank you, Denisse, for being gracious to be interviewed on my platform. And I love you very much, even though I needed you every now and then. I gotta need you. I mean, just to let you know that I care. Now, tomorrow, we're gonna have a short video. We're gonna be talking about the TSA, which is the Transportation Security Administration. So I came up with a couple of articles which I'm going to share tomorrow night. Sunday, we're going to have another live stream. Please excuse me because I'm having a senior moment right now.
Oh my God, here we go.
Okay, yes. So the topic for Sunday night is that, are we addicted to social media? So we're gonna share some information, and we're gonna find out whether we are and how can we deal with it. So it will be live at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and 7:45 Central Standard Time. And of course, Denise already sent you the link. Hopefully, you'll be able to come to my cyber home, or at least watch it on the playback. So, and of course, I'm going to close the same way, which I always close. Do not let the errors of the past damage your future. And we must do everything possible to minimize our contact with the mentally and intellectually challenged, because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by the stupidity and mass insanity. So I'm going to move myself to the background so Denisse can have the final word.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Jose, for having me here. It's been a pleasure. I think I enjoy this interview a lot. Like, there's a lot of things that I got to share that I never shared before about like my life and how things have been going with my channel and whatnot. And if you're watching either live or on the replay, make sure you hit the like button, you subscribe to the channel, and also hit the bell for notifications, and make sure you set them into all so that every time Jose goes live, you do not miss a second of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, like I said, it's been a pleasure. Make sure that, every day, if you want to have an unfiltered view on what's happening in the world and in Latin America and sometimes in America, make sure you go to Latin Explaining with Denisse Gonzalez, and I'll tell you all about it. That has been all for today, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. Peace out.